everybody, and welcome to episode 141 of the Let's Play World. Over the last couple episodes, we've done a bunch of work over here on our latest farm, and I'm hoping today that we can wrap this up. Still got a long way to go, but I did a little bit of work between episodes, so let me show you what's going on here. So once upon a time, we built a wheat farm up there. We've got a villager who's just making wheat, and we're collecting that. And then last episode, we built a cow farm. Right up here, we have a bunch of cows that are all stuck in these little pockets, and we can feed them the wheat that we get from the farmer and breed them up. Hang on, I'm going to turn these cows down. Let's see here. If we go into sounds, and where are they at? Friendly creatures. We're going to bring these guys way down. That's a little better. Now each of these pockets here is full of cows, and the most cows you can get into a single spot is about 24. If you get more than that, then they start to die from cramming. And I was mentioning last episode how we might initially get some cramming, but we should reach some sort of equilibrium. And what I mean by that is, let's say you got 24 cows in here, and you feed them all. That's going to create 12 new cows. And so in this space, we will have 36 cows. And as you can see, they go down and the babies will hopefully get out, but the chances are we might take some cramming damage. Now let's say some of those cows do die from cramming. That means there's going to be less cows the next time. Like let's say there's 20 cows in this little space here, then that means if we were to breed them all up and they all created a new baby, there would be 30 total cows in there. Now let's say enough cows died that we had only 16 cows in here. If we were to feed all 16 of those, we would create 8 new baby cows, which is a total of 24. So even if they were all kind of stuck in there, 24 is fine. They won't take any cramming damage. And so if you have 16 cows in there, you'll never run into cramming again. But the thing is, because they're oscillating, we'll probably have more than 16 in there. Like I said, if we had 20 in there, I could feed a few, and then, they'll just scoot out and feed a few more. And so the chances that we'll take cramming are less. That's the theory anyway. So what happens after we feed the cows? Well, let's do that real quick. I'm just going to create one baby cow. And what will happen is it will get washed down into this little water stream here, and I created a little channel to bring the baby cows all the way over here. So he will eventually fall off that edge, and there is a piston in here with a slime block on top of it. And once he gets in there, takes a little bit because of the timing, he's going to get bounced up. There he goes. And it goes up about that high. And what I'd like to do is something where we then send the baby cow in this direction. This piston down here is hooked up to the same redstone as this. I just brought a signal down here to a piston. Now one thing, the cows, when they get washed in this direction, they kind of run into the slime block, and it takes them a little bit to end up on top of it. I feel like once we have a bunch of baby cows, they'll force each other into this by and large. But yeah, it's not perfect, but I think it's going to work. Now what I'm imagining is another piston here that'll push the baby cow in this direction, and then maybe we could have some kind of like either a slime wall or something here to catch them. And then I might just have like a little holding cell with water one block up so that the baby cows can sit there, but as soon as they grow into adults, their heads will dip into the water and they'll want to swim up. And then what we could do is process the adult cows over here into some sort of like maybe a lava blade or something like that so that we can cook them. And then I just need to collect all of the drops and get them back to the main platform. One thing that's going to be tricky here is figuring out the timing on this. So let's see if we have, that would be extended, and so the piston would be right there. So we're going to put piston against that block like so. And then we've got the redstone right here, and I could probably just bring it up, but we might want to do some sort of delay depending on how the timing lines up. And it's raining. Let's see, if we grab a repeater and some redstone dust, let's see if I can do this here. Point the repeater in that direction. Dust. 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 Okay. So that is extending. Is it extending at the right time? Probably not. This one down here needs to go first, and this one needs to go shortly thereafter. So I'll probably want to put some delay on this. That's a little bit of delay. Let's try it out. You know, I don't think it's enough delay, but we'll see what happens. Okay, we're going to get a baby. Baby washes down there. Nope, little early. All right, let's grab another repeater. And what we'll do is add another repeater so we can put some more delay. And it feels like we need a fair amount of delay here. Right there is where we're going to put it. Break that, put that there, and I'm going to put all the delay on it and see how it goes. Yeah, there we go. That seemed to work really well. All right, let's try this again. We can get a baby out of here. I think he's coming down over there. There we go. And eventually he'll just drop off that ledge once he it's worn out here. There we go. That seems to work out really well. All right. Might be kind of cool if we had like a honey wall, and then when the cow hits it, it would kind of slide down, and then we could collect it like in a water stream or something. Can't remember how high up the baby cow was going. I feel like it was a lot lower than that. So yeah, let's check that out and see how this goes. All right. One baby cow on its way. All right, let's pay attention to how far the baby cow goes. Just barely cleared that. Well, let's try one more piston and see if we can maybe add a little more height to our bounce here. All right, we'll make a baby cow. Not exactly timed right. All right, try again. Still not exactly right. All right, adjusted timing, and I raised this piston up one block. Ah. That's promising. Let's try again and see if it still, it's repeatable. It's pretty promising. All right, I heightened the wall a little bit, added a water stream, and I think what we'll do is we'll wash the baby cows out here, and then we'll kind of keep them here until they grow into adults, and then put water above them maybe so that they want to swim upwards. All right, I want to test this out here. I have the honey wall, and then there's a water stream that washes the cows this way. There is one pocket of air, just because there's signs on the wall back there, and I want to see if the baby cows, A, will end up in there, and B, will they drown? How's this going to go? So this is the test. I wish there was a way to expedite the cows. And like I said, once there's a whole bunch of them, they'll get scooted along. Ooh, that guy went really high. All right, did he make it down there? Yes, he did. Okay, So these cows on the other side here, there's a sign. So they're just sitting in a block of air. But once they grow up, their heads will extend into the water. And I want to make all of this water so that they'll want to swim up. Okay, small update. So I've got the cows going across here, and then they occupy this area down here. Occasionally, a baby cow will jump. And when they do jump, they want to swim. And so occasionally we'll get a baby cow up here. I don't think it's the end of the world, but it works. The cows want to get out of this space and they'll go up here. Right at this level, I have some fence gates and then water across the top, which forces them over into this area over here. And I thought about having them fall through lava, but it turns out the lava just eats up all of their stuff. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a lava blade that will periodically fire here, and then hoppers to catch all the drops. Okay, so I've made some updates. The cows are going to end up over here. They'll get corralled in this area, and when they grow up, they're going to want to swim up to the top. They'll get flushed over here, end up in this area right here. And what I've done is over on this side, I've taken the signal off to the side into basically what is an etho hopper clock. So this here dropper is facing into this hopper. And you can see here that every time it gets hit, it spits an item out. And this hopper is locked. But once we run out of items, this is going to flip. Just like that. And then the items drain back over to this side, and then it repeats. And that way we can decide how often we get a signal up here. This signal is going to come up here to a piston with sand on top of it. And when this signal hits here, the sand will extend and that will just create a short pulse. And I'm going to have that pulse go up to an observer, and it's going to see the pulse come on, the pulse go off, and it's going to turn on this dispenser and then turn this dispenser off. So hypothetically, we should just get a real quick flash of lava. Okay, let's see if this guy works here. It's going to count down. 3, 2, 1, and then we should get a flash. Yes, that's what I want. So once we get cows in there, it should catch them on fire, but not be on long enough to burn up the items. Let's breed up some cows and give this thing a shot. You know, we still need to connect all the hoppers. I'd like to come up with a kill switch so I can turn this on and off whenever I want, so it's not just running all the time. But first, let's make sure this thing is functional. I'm going to grab some wheat, and I'm just going to blast these cows and see what happens. Like I said, we might get some cramming, but that's okay. We'll see how this goes. So far, we seem to be doing pretty good. Hopefully, we'll get some cows flying off in the right-hand side here. Oh, gosh. Yeah, we sure did. There's another one. Another one. I wish they slid down the wall of honey. I might play with that and see if I can figure that out. They are definitely cruising over there. And you can see they're all just kind of hanging out down here. And they're almost getting over that wall. That is wild. Another one. Might be all of them. Nice. So now, okay, there you saw a baby jumped. Tried to go back this way. There's another one. Not the end of the world, though. Because when these cows come over here, they're going to be too short for the lava blade to hit them. So if I hop across here, I'll show you what I mean. So if the lava blade goes off, it's going to be above their heads. Just like that, the babies are perfectly safe. We're not wasting any of our cows. You know, the chances of one of them coming down while that lava blade was on is really slight, so I feel really good about this. But once they grow up, they're going to be a little too tall, and that's when they're going to get hit with that lava blade. So in the meantime, I'm going to work on some of these hopper lines and see if we can figure out how to route things back over to where we're going to be standing. Okay, a little bit more of an update. I didn't think this through very well. So I have the cows up here that are getting cooked, and then the hoppers grab the drops, which are cooked beef and leather. And then I wanted to sort them. So I just did a couple of like real simple item sorters. So this will sort out the leather, this will sort out the beef. But when you do the sorting, it brings it down a couple of levels. So I had to figure out a way to get it back up. So what's going on here is the cooked beef comes through here. And like I said, this is just an item sorter. So it comes down here, gets put in this dropper. The comparator reads that, extends this observer. These two observers stare at each other, which creates a signal, which pushes it back up here, and then sends it on down this way. So ultimately, once we get down here, we get the cooked beef. And now I'm going to try and replicate that for the leather. Okay, so we're going to have a dropper here. We'll have a dropper facing up right here, and another dropper facing up right there. And then we're going to get, let's see, comparator watching this dropper. Like that. Rid of that block there. So when we get something in this here, we get a signal. That's great. And then what's going on here is we push that signal into this block, and we're gonna put a piston. Let's see if I've got, yeah, sticky piston on that block. Oops. Oh gosh, there we go, just like that. Fantastic. Let's see, is it facing this way? No, I need the face to be looking at me. So we need to do this and then this. Break that one. There we go. Now we should have, yeah, the face like that. And then, see how that does just a signal over and over and over and over? And then once we get something in here, it'll extend and then pull it back. So this will only dispense when the comparator senses that there's something in the dropper. You can do it one more time here. I'll put some things in that dropper. Real quick, right? So it just takes that signal, the piston pushes this over, goes bang, 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 shoots them right out. And then you just need to get the hoppers over there somewhere. No, I did say I wanted it to be complicated. I am definitely going to need to make sure this thing is lit up, or else it's going to be an accidental mob farm once I get it all enclosed. Okay, aside from a kill switch, walls, and a ceiling, I think this thing is fully functional, and we're going to give it a shot here. I'm going to grab a whole stack of wheat, and we're just going to start breeding some cows and see what happens here. Okay, that's great. Okay, now already we've got some cows shooting across here. I made the wall 2 blocks taller, and they actually do slide down the honey now. So you can see, you get the cows just kind of scooting on down. It looks great. That is awesome. Now those baby cows, they are ending up over here, and some of them will just wait until they grow up. Some of them will jump up and get washed over into our little holding cell here. And when they become full-size cows, they're going to get cooked. Okay, looks like we've got some of our babies turning into adults. And you can see those babies down at the bottom are starting to float to the top. Well, this definitely seems to be a success. I'm going to do some adjusting down there. We Need to figure out that kill switch because this cannot be happening all the time. This is going to lag my world so much. And we need to put a shell on this thing. Okay, I messed with this a little bit and I couldn't really figure out a way to sort out the babies from the adults as far as who's swimming up. I tried putting like a half slab down there, but the adults were just a little bit too short to kind of sort that out. So I'm just going to roll with this and we'll call it good. You'll notice it's a little bit quieter over here, and that's because I set up a on and off switch. The way this works is right here, we've got a lever. If you switch it up, it's off. If you switch it down, it's on. So when you switch it down, what happens is this piston gets extended and it basically completes this circuit. And then there is a observer watching the piston and it'll just start by sending a signal out. So I'll show you what happens here. If I flip this, that got extended. This guy kind of kickstarts the system. And then this block is in place to kind of keep this little clock going around and around and around. When I flip that switch again, this gets retracted and it breaks that loop, which turns off the system. That way we don't have to have it running all the time, and I think that's going to work out really, really well. Last thing we need to do is just wrap this thing in a shell and kind of decorate it, and then I think we're done. Finally, I think we have a finished farm. And that's what it looks like. Just a big gray box. That's cool. Out here we can get a pretty cool view of it. And you can see I went ahead and did a similar theme like we've done on the other farms, and I used some yellow concrete. I have a torch here. If we fly on down, can hopefully land right in here. Nice. And we've got this lever to turn the whole thing on. Grab some wheat and then breed up some cows. Oops. Gotta watch them rockets. And hopefully we'll get some baby cows flying through the air over here. Yep, here they come. That's fantastic. The baby cows grow up into adult cows. They get cooked. And then the beef and the leather is going to get sorted out. And right from this spot, without moving, we get all the cooked beef we want. And we get all the leather we want. Pretty awesome. Pretty ridiculous, really. Quite over-engineered, you know, when you look at what's going on here. But it does the job. And I like that we can switch it off. That's pretty convenient. Next episode, I think we might spend a little bit of time on this guy here. It's definitely coming along on the bottom half, and I think I want to start thinking about extending it even higher. Got a couple of ideas for things I want to do up here. And that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.